Hey, what's going on? It's Mike, and I'm here with another episode of Smart Simple Digital. So today I want to share some tips to help you to avoid being the victim of an online scam. Because the truth is that there are a lot of scammers out on the web today who are using all types of tricks and tactics to mislead people, to take advantage of people, to steal from them. And it sucks. It's not cool. So I'm specifically going to talk about 4 of the most common types of scams that are in use right now on the web, and just give you some tips on what to look out for and how to avoid them. You know, essentially how to avoid getting got. So that's what today's episode is going to be all about. So here we go. So online scam number 1 is something called phishing. Now, phishing is a method that scammers use to trick people into sharing their personal information with them. You know, this is information such as their bank account numbers, their credit card numbers, social security numbers, or even their username and passwords to their online accounts. Now, normally these phishing attempts happen through online communications, and they may be initiated through, let's say, social media, through DMs on social media, direct messages, through emails, through text messages. And honestly, I should point this out too. It's not online, but it happens. But phishing attempts can also happen over the phone. They may come through the form of robocalls, or you may even get a live call as well. And what happens in either of these cases is that the scammer presents themselves as being a trusted source. They present themselves as being, let's say, a representative from a company that you may be familiar with, that you may have done business with before. They may present themselves as being a friend or a family member, or really any source that you might have a reason to believe and to be comfortable with, to let your guard down and to be willing to share information to that source. So the general rule here is that if you ever receive any sort of unsolicited communication and that sender is asking you to provide them with your social security number, your credit card number, really any type of personal information, don't do it. Honestly, I should also point out as well that there are a lot of cases where they may not be asking you to provide them with something. They may just want you to click on a link or to download a file. And in turn, I mean, that's a way that viruses are transmitted. It's also a way on social media for hackers to take control of your account. So at any rate, don't click on anything, don't download anything, and don't divulge any personal information about yourself to anyone who sends you any unsolicited communication. In a lot of cases, the scammers are really sophisticated, they're really advanced. And there may be times where it may look like you may receive a message and it looks like it's coming from someone that you know. So for example, you may get a DM and that DM looks like it's coming from a friend, someone that you know. But it's a little weird because it's asking you to click on a link, or it may just include language that you know that person doesn't talk that way. If that ever happens, reach out to that person and verify. Like, don't provide any information, don't click on anything, but reach out to them separately and say, hey, I got this message from you. Is this legit? Always verify. 9 times out of 10, it probably isn't. It's probably a scam. The other thing too, the same thing, if you ever get any type of communication from a company that you may have done business with, for example, a utility company, and let's say you normally receive your bills in the mail, in the form of a paper notice. But let's say at some point out of the blue, you get a random text message, and it looks to come from your utility company, and it's asking you, to provide your credit card number, and it's giving you this elaborate story about, hey, if you don't share your information within the next hour, your service is going to be cut off. Don't take any action. Like, don't share your information. Don't share any of those personal details that message may ask you to do. But again, verify. Reach out to that company and verify. Say, hey, look, I got this text from you. Is this real or not? And 9 times out of 10, it's probably a scam. But always verify and never share personal information to any unsolicited through any unsolicited message that you may receive online. Never click on any link that you're not familiar with that may come through one of those messages, or download any files that may be attached to it. That's the number one. Those are the number 1 tips when it comes to phishing. Just know what to look out for and to avoid. So online scam number 2 is fake tech support, the fake tech support scam. The way that I've normally seen this play out is it actually starts offline. So what happens is you may get a call from someone, and they may present themselves as being a representative from Apple or Microsoft or whatever computer you may have or may be familiar with. They may say they're from that company, and that you have a virus on your computer, and that you should either let them have access. So they may ask you to provide them with your computer's IP address, or they may want you to go to a specific site and download some software, or go to a specific site and buy some software to clean up your computer. If any of those things happens to you, if you get a call like that and the person's telling you to do any of those things, don't do it. It is most likely 10 times out of 10 a scam. The second way that this fake support scam plays out is through pop-up ads or pop-up alerts. So you may be on a site and you may get a pop-up alert, and it might be blinking or flashing or whatever, and it's saying, hey, you have a virus. Click this link to clean up your computer, or call this number to have this virus removed. 10 times out of 10 again, that's a scam. And what's going to happen is if you click that link, that's telling you that you have a virus and you need to click the link in order to remove the virus, clicking that link might actually download the actual virus onto your computer. Or calling that number that is telling you to call so that they can remove that virus, just maybe trying to get you to call into some fake call center and to buy some fake software, some useless piece of software that they're saying may clean up your computer. So either way, don't do those things. What you should make sure, though, you definitely should make sure always that you have some type of virus protection software on your computer, especially Windows, if you have a Windows computer, and just make sure it's always up to date. And if it is, and you're always protected, if you see those messages, then you're more inclined just to be relieved and to know that it is just a scam and your computer is not infected with any type of virus. So that's what I would say. Make sure you have a virus protection software installed in your machine. But more importantly, if you just ever get any communication out of the blue from someone trying to get access to your computer because they want to remove a virus from it, or they want you to download something to remove a virus, don't do those things. Don't do it. It's a scam. Online scam number 3, fake stores. So, it is super, super simple for anyone today to set up a store online to sell their products and services. You can subscribe to a number of e-commerce platforms that are available. Buy a nice pretty template, upload some photos of your products, and boom, you're in business. Quick, simple, and easy. That's a good thing for those legitimate entrepreneurs who have products and services they want to want to be able to get out to the world in a quick and simple, easy way. However, the downside to that, the bad side to that, I should say, is that there are a lot of scammers who don't have good intentions, who set up stores many times just with the intention of just robbing people. Either they advertise products, and when people buy them, when people submit payment, they never ship those products. They just simply hold on to the money. Then there are those instances where people may buy products from these scam sites, and when they get the product in the mail, the quality is way different than how it's portrayed online. So it's like, inferior quality once the person receives that product. So, the tip here is that just be careful, especially when you come across a store that only seems to have an online presence, doesn't have a brick and mortar, or there's no brick and mortar locations. Maybe it's a store that you've never heard of, one that you came across because you saw it advertised on social media. And that's another thing to point out. Just as easy as it is for people to set up online stores, it's also easy for just about anyone to create ads on social media as well. So a lot of times, you see people advertising their stores on social media. And, when you see one and maybe they're offering products that you're interested in, and, prices are good, sometimes maybe too good to be true. You've never heard of the company, do your homework. I guess the first thing is if anything just looks too good to be true, it probably is. If someone's selling products and the prices are just way below market value, it's probably a good indicator that it's a scam. That maybe they're selling counterfeit goods, or just maybe you might not even get the products at all. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Also, take a look to see the types of payment that stores are accepting. One of the red flags is that if you ever come across an online store and they only want you to submit payment in the form of wiring money directly to them, or using a cash instant cash transfer service like a Cash App or Venmo or something along those lines, that's a red flag. Be careful, because the danger there is when you do those cash transfers like that, there's no protection that you have. Whereas if you use a credit card or you use something like PayPal, at least you have some level of protection. So just in case you get got by a scammer, at least in those cases, there's a company that's working in the middle that you can report it to, and they can kind of help you to get your funds back. But if you're just doing an instant cash transfer, nah, you don't have any protection. That's a red flag. If any store just wants you to pay through cash, by wire or Cash App or something like that, red flag. The other thing that I would advise you to do is to look for reviews on that particular store. So again, if it's one that you've never heard of before, you're just seeing it for the first time advertised on social media, you see their products advertised on social media, go on the web and do, look up to see if there are any reviews about that store. And it's a good chance you may come across some posts on the web, some reviews, and people may talk about the experience that they've had, especially in those cases where a store may be a notorious front for a scammer, right? Where they may never ship the products at all, or the products are just like, the quality isn't good. They just do a whole bait and switch. It's a good chance that you'll see a lot of people sharing their experiences with certain online stores on the web. So do your homework, look up reviews as well. Another thing that I would advise you to do is look on those sites. So again, come across a store you've never heard of before online. Everything looks good, maybe a little too good to be true. Look up, just see if they have any information about where the products are being shipped from, what their return policies are. If you see any red flags in there, just back off. You know what I mean? If the information just seems like maybe it was copied and pasted from someplace else, even if there are a bunch of like errors, like just in the way that the text is presented, red flag, right? Also, if there's no way to contact that store, if there's no way for you to get in touch with anyone there, to get in touch with customer service, or if there's no email address listed, if there's no contact form, that's another red flag. And maybe finally, if all things seem to check out, but you're still a little bit cautious, reach out. Send them a message, send them an email, through the contact form, and ask some questions. Just as a final way, just to fill things out to make sure that store is legit. So just be cautious. Online scam number 4 are influencer scams. That's what I call them anyway. There are a bunch of people who have really large platforms on social media, large followings, and they may be famous or infamous for a certain thing, and so they get a lot of attention online. And a lot of those people, in many cases, they promote products and services of some kind that may promise benefits that seem a little too good to be true. I've seen it all. I've seen people on social media, they're promoting health products. They promise all these type of like magic results, for your health, for your body, etc. If you see things like that, just be cautious. Just understand that the way that many influencers make their money online, on social media in particular, is through ads. It's by promoting products. And so you may have instances where people are just promoting a product that they're just simply being paid to promote. They probably don't use it. They probably have no real knowledge about it. The benefits that they may be saying are just part of a script that they were just paid to say. So just be cautious about those things. And I guess if you are interested in maybe buying something from someone, from some influencer who's promoting some product, just do your research offline. Well, do your research off of social media. Go on the web, look up that product, see if you can find reviews, some comments from other people about their experiences with that product, just to, to see like if it really checks out or not. So I would definitely recommend that you do your homework. Always do your homework. And I should add, there are a lot of social media influencers who may be promoting products that are good. So I'm not going to say that everybody who you may see on social media promoting something is running a scam. However, you should always just be cautious, because when people are being paid to promote a product or service, they can say anything, and that product doesn't have to live up to what they're claiming it to do. So just be careful. So that's it. Those are some of the most common online scams that you may come across while you're on the web, on social media, etc. Just have your eyes open. Always be on the lookout and do your research if anything seems too good to be true, because it probably is. So I hope that this information was helpful. If it was, share this video. Also like this video as well. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them down below in the comment section as well. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.